Hello and welcome to Acronym TV. I'm your host, Dennis Trainer Jr. So glad to be back. First up this week, Bill Maher is more and more resembling everyone's least favorite uncle. You know the one. The aging baby boomer bro, personal space invader dude who begins every conversation with, "I'm not a racist, but can't we just round up all the Muslims and put them in a camp somewhere?" Truly, Bill Maher's America is a scary place. One that has zero capacity to take responsibility for its own actions, let alone for self-reflection or humility. No, Bill Maher is a nationalistic wingnut occupying the faux left wing of our myopic national discourse, waving the flag of American exceptionalism while upping the ante on his already established Islamophobia by asserting, get this, a separate but equal paradigm for Muslims and the rest of us. Go video.
There was a big story this week about a 14-year-old Muslim American teenager in Texas who built a clock. He's a science kid, and that's great. Can we show the clock? Okay, and the people at the school thought it might be a bomb, perhaps because it looks exactly like a fucking bomb. But could we have a little perspective about this? Did the teacher really do the wrong thing?
Yeah.
I'm just asking about perspective. First,
It would not have happened if he wasn't Muslim.
No, that's what I disagree with. We have policies, zero
The
tolerance.
whole controversy is precisely because of the color of his skin.
See, I don't
because
think
of
so.
his
it's
religion.
not the color of his skin.
Yes, of course.
It's not the color of his skin.
And his religion.
Excuse me, somebody look me in the eye right here and tell me, over the last 30 years, if so many young Muslim men, and he's young, 14, but that's not never happened before.
Right.
Hasn't blown a lot of shit up around the world.
We have zero tolerance in school for things that are suspicious. And, you know,
Right.
maybe that doesn't look like a bomb, but it doesn't look like a clock. And if I'm a teacher...
What if it had been a
regardless-
bomb?
Yeah, exactly.
And so the teacher is supposed to see something that looks like a bomb and go, oh, wait, this just might be my white privilege talking.
Right, right.
I sure don't want to be politically incorrect, so I'll just let it go.
You know what the problem
Yeah,
in this country,
exactly.
one of the problems we got is this willingness to take sides in a fight like this without knowing what the hell happened. And it is amazing. Everybody goes right to their battle stations. I'm with the minority.
Yeah.
The minority's right. Those teachers are wrong. How do you know? I wasn't there. You weren't there.
The problem is
I don't know. How do you know?
Chris,
Everybody's an expert. It's all cartoon. Everything's a fucking cartoon.
no,
Bill, because you treated the only voice of reason, Jorge Ramos, only slightly better than he was treated by Donald Trump, and because the perspective you gleaned from the remaining clowns on your panel was so skewed, I offer this open letter to add to the perspective you claim to seek. Dearest Bill, you said, to the delight of your audience, that a homemade clock got 14-year-old Ahmed handcuffed and arrested from his school because for the last 30 years it has been one culture that has been blowing shit up, and because of that, Muslims should get used to the rest of us taking extra precautions. That wasn't a very good Bill Maher impression. While it's true the world is a violent place, it's hardly true that a single culture is responsible for all the violence, Bill. If we're keeping score, however, surely it is the American empire that tops the heap in blowing shit up. With 1,400 military bases spread out over the 120 countries, the invasive roots system of the old American oak tree you'd have us tie a yellow ribbon round is, to borrow a phrase from Martin Luther King Jr., true now as it was then and every moment in between, the greatest purveyor of violence in the world today. You ask us, Bill, in examining the story of Ahmed, to have a little perspective. So step back, my brother, outside the American exceptionalism bubble, and let's add a dash of honesty in your hash pipe and smoke it. Suck on this, Bill. The current iteration of American imperialism is emboldened by the homicidal delusion that goes by the name of American exceptionalism. What does that even mean? James Ledbetter describes it this way, quote, the belief that God made a covenant with the founders of America and intended to use American civilization as an example for the rest of the world. However, Ledbetter notes that, problematically, quote, an appeal to the supernatural puts the idea of American exceptionalism on a similar plane with, say, the Jewish concept of being the chosen people, or the ancient Chinese idea that their country is at the center of the universe, which is to say, there is nothing exceptional about thinking that your civilization is exceptional. Nonetheless, the idea that the United States occupies a privileged and arguably unique place in history is critical to understanding the phrase American exceptionalism from Manifest Destiny's period to the present day. Ah, yes. Manifest destiny, the wind beneath the wings of colonial expansion. But the American empire no longer has to annex territory to expand its reach and control resources. That's so 19th century. Annexed, Bill, and this is important for perspective, is a cute little term to throw on civics exams so as not to upset youngsters too much about the blood on the hands of their ancestors. It means, quite simply, that Americans said to Mexicans living in what we now call California, but was once Mexico in 1846, quote, "I'm bigger than you, I'm stronger than you, I've got more gunpowder than you, and if that ain't enough, I've got God on my side. I got manifest destiny, yo." And furthermore, they said, and here I'm paraphrasing, "Do you want me to rape you and kill you like we did to those Native Americans? Or do you want to run along south of this new border I'm going to draw while I annex this joint?" California, no doubt about it. Once California was annexed away from Mexico, God blessed America with Hollywood, where you live, Bill. And Hollywood blessed the world with the 21st century poster child for manifest destiny, Ronald Reagan, who, and this is for perspective, Bill, came upon the scene in the blink of an eye, historically speaking, after the hippies came really close to creating a whole different kind of world and nearly started a revolution that was squelched when they killed a couple of Kennedys, Malcolm and Martin. And all the rest of the baby boomers got the message loud and clear, tucked their tail between their legs and went to work selling insurance to pay for the mortgage in Levittown. When liberals put the peanut farmer in the White House, that whole cardigan thing just wasn't very, what's the word? Exceptional, I guess. And so enter stage left, the American cowboy Ronald Reagan, who hoodwinked so many liberals into voting for him that his landslide electoral victory began the great creep of the American center to the right. So far right, Bill, that the so-called liberals who hated the Bush Doctrine loved it when applied by an African American with a charming lilt to his speech. And so a never-ending war, surveillance into every corner of our lives, and a cranky comic suggesting that 14-year-old kids interested in science should be treated by one simple metric: do they look Muslim? All in the name of divinely ordained manifest destiny. Let's call it, Bill, manifest destiny's child. You say, Bill, to the delight of your audience, that Ahmed's makeshift clock actually looks like a bomb. It only looks like a bomb, Bill, in the eyes of one who knows that karma is a boomerang. And manifest destiny's child has been chucking out so many boomerangs that we're wondering when we'll have to duck and cover again, like we did on September 11th, 2001. Perspective, brought to you by Acronym TV. What do you stand for? Acronym TV is independently produced and individually supported by viewers like you. Visit acronymtv.com/donate to donate. It's also produced with underwriting support from Occupy.com. Occupy.com, a news and media channel amplifying the voices of the global 99%. Find out more at Occupy.com.